Welcome to Study Session 7, Feasibility Studies, Part 2. Introduction. This unit will consider two aspects of feasibility study: the technical feasibility and the project size and location. The technical feasibility study seeks to secure an authoritative and detailed information on the latest technology the project requires in terms of the electrical and mechanical equipment for various sizes of the project. The size and location of the project is of paramount importance to the profitability of the project. In considering the size of the project, a number of factors must be considered. These include the sum of the transport cost of input and output, which must be the minimum, the availability and relative cost of inputs used in the project, and the availability and relative cost of input used in the product, the availability and relative cost of inputs used in the project, and the environment as regards land and building, taxes and legal problems, and general living. Technical feasibility studies. The main objective of the technical feasibility study is to secure an authoritative and detailed information on the latest technology the project requires in terms of the electrical and mechanical equipment for various sizes of the project. These studies shall embrace the following. 1. It will give the estimate of the total cost and enumerate the major items of the equipment and machinery required for the project. 2. It will state the requirement and specification as to the quantity and quality of each raw materials, labor, fuel, power, and water requirement for the equipment. Labor, fuel, power, and water required for the equipment. 3. It will investigate whether capital equipment can be sourced locally or from abroad. 4. It will set forth a detailed estimation of the production and overhead costs for operating the proposed plant size on the basis of stated assumption as to the unit cost of each item needed. Alternative processes which would result in advantages in capital or production cost must also be studied and reported. However, no engineering drawing or plan is highly required at this stage, but it should involve some field work which can be undertaken by engineers with wide experience and high competence in the particular industry. We should avoid engineers who will be interested in having the project go ahead without thorough investigation, particularly those who might be involved in the sale and supply of those machinery and construction services. Such engineers may be biased. Size and location of the project. In considering the size of the project, the optimum size should be selected. The optimum size is the size at which the long-run average cost equals the long-run marginal cost. The larger the difference between the total benefits and the total cost occurs where the marginal benefit equals the long-run cost. This is the first order condition for the optimum size. This is the first order condition for the optimum size. The second order condition states that the second derivatives of total benefits in respect to initial investment must be less than the second derivatives of total cost with respect to initial investment, that is, 1. The volume of demand. 2. The production costs. 3. The administrative capacity. 4. The techniques of production. 5. The geographical distribution of the market. The location of the project. The location of project is of paramount importance to the profitability of the project. In considering project location, however, one must identify the site options which fulfill the best location. The best location is that which facilitates the making of maximum profit, all things being equal. Certain factors determine project location. These are: 1. The sum of the transport costs of input and output, which must be the minimum. 2. The availability and relative cost of inputs used in the project. 3. The environment as regards land and building, taxes and legal problems. 3. The environment as regards land and building, taxes and legal problems, general living condition, climate, and so on. The first two factors are most important and shall be explained. Location and transport costs. The objective of the location exercise is to find a site which minimizes the unit cost of production, viz. The transfer costs, that is, the procurement costs plus distribution costs. There are three types of locations which can help in fulfilling these objectives. 1. Locations near the source of the raw materials where necessary inputs will be obtained. 2. Location near the market where the finished products will be sold. 3. Location away from both 1 and 2. Irrespective of where the project is sited, three types of costs will be incurred: the cost of transportation of input from its source, the cost of transferring output to the market, and the processing costs. If the project is located at the source of raw material, the procurement, that is the cost of transporting input, will be minute. Similarly, if the project is sited at the market environment, the distribution cost will be insignificant. The addition of procurement cost and distribution cost gives the transfer cost. Where the gradient of the procurement cost is higher than the distribution cost, the best location will be the location at the source of raw materials. If the reverse is the case, then the location near the market will be the best location. To identify the best location which minimizes cost, it is useful to evaluate the factors which influence location near the source of raw material and near the market. Factors that influence location near the source of raw materials. 1. Processes which involve considerable weight loss at the processing stage are often located at the source of raw material. 2. Processes with large requirement of raw materials. 3. Processes in which the relative weight materials and product are the same, but the procurement cost per ton is greater than the distribution cost per ton. For example, food preserving industries and boiling of cotton. 4. Weight loss signifies a process in which the finished product is smaller than the raw material utilized. For example, sugar and sugar cane. Factors influencing location near the market. 1. Processes which involve considerable weight gain. Such processes may involve the usage of large quantity of ubiquitous raw materials, for example water, sand, and so on. These materials are found everywhere and do not involve transport costs, but they add to the weight of the finished products like soft drink, ice block, beer, and so on. 2. Processes involving goods which are valuable but more perishable and involve more distribution cost per ton, for example glass, egg. Location of intermediate point. A project can be sited away from either the source of raw material or near the market. Such location will be at intermediate point that is between the source of raw material and the market. Such location could be at a point where two modes of transportation meet, for example, railway and water roads. In this situation, the transport cost of raw materials and the finished product may not be too far apart for both input and output.